Now, dear participants of the International Crimean Platform, ladies and gentlemen, on the temporarily occupied territory of the Autonomous Republic of Crimea and city of Sevastopol, as was the result of the invasion from the Russian Federation, and there was an oppression of rights of the indigenous people, ethnical Ukrainians, and the Crimean Tatars, and that was the Russian barbarians in Crimea are conducting a purposeful policy to change the composition of population. And that's the oppression of the indigenous Crimean Tatar people and ethnical Ukrainians. That's the oppression of signs of identity of the Crimean Tatars and other peoples and populations that live in the peninsula. The Russian occupation of Crimea has been lasting for more than 10 years, and it's accompanied by wide-scale, purposeful propaganda that includes and covers all the life activities starting from kindergartens and schools. And also that implies certain change in the consciousness and the minds of some of the people that live in the occupied Crimea to justify the occupation and attempted inaction, which has been going on since 2014, to hide the purposeful and systemic repressions against indigenous Crimean Tatar people, and then since February 22, aiming to mobilize its own population for open war, which is aimed to destroy the independent Ukrainian state. And demonization of Ukrainians and Crimean Tatars because just to kill the others, one needs to deprive them of human dignity and human qualities. Just to reintegrate safely the temporarily occupied Crimea and Sevastopol, just neutralize the threats to international and national security and to restore the human rights for the indigenous people, ethnic Ukrainians and national minorities, to observe human freedoms. We need to conduct a clear policy to release, to liberate and free Crimea. This policy has in its foundations a formula that should facilitate national unity and consolidation of the Ukrainian society. This formula is well known by everyone that Crimea is the home of the Crimean Tatar people and an integral part of the Ukrainian state. And it's around this formulation that we have to concentrate all our further efforts, which are aiming to deoccupy Crimea and reintegrate it. It is this particular formula that Crimea is the home of the Crimean Tatar people, and an integral part of the Ukrainian state would allow us to transform the currently existing status of Crimea into a national territorial autonomy that will be based on the mandates guaranteed by the Ukraine's constitution and will guarantee the following. First of all, the inviolability of Ukraine's territorial integrity, of the Ukrainian state territorial integrity. That is also the renewal or recovery of the rights of the indigenous Crimean Tatar people and their exercising of the rights for self-determination. And of course that sustainable development, it includes of the Crimean Peninsula. I have, before I conclude, I have to add that on its way, the country has already made very important steps in particular, and that was the law of Ukraine that was approved by Mr. Zelensky, President of Ukraine, by the indigenous people of Ukraine. Certain norms of this law are being still implemented. Now here we expect that the cabinet of Ukraine approves decisions on how to endow the Crimean Tatar people with the status of an indigenous people, which was initially stipulated by Ukraine's current legislation. Ukrainian Crimean Tatars have one feature by which that helps them be safe in the world. Wherever they are, wherever they're landed in the world, they will always get back to their homeland, Crimea, and they will this time as well. I'm sure that pretty soon. And I'm sure that the state banner of Ukraine, state flag of Ukraine, will hoist in the wind above Ukraine near the Crimean Tatar flag. Glory to Ukraine.